people tired, losing track. No one's got your back, but now you do. Sensei's got you. That's the Sensay. Knows what to say. Talks like a human. Works night and day. That's the Sensay. Saves your day. Built for the future. Here to slay. No more bots that loop and freeze. No more reps begging please. Sensei smart, it knows the play. Chatbots powered the real way. You don't need more crew, cause Sensei's true. That's the Sensei. Knows what to say. Answers in seconds. Leads don't stray. That's the Sensei. Saves your day. Fuel it with Sensei. On your way. Knowledge lives, all forever stored. Every lead, every call, Sensei scores. That's the Sensei. Rush away. Work gets done while you sleep all day. That's the Sensei. Leaves don't delay. Eye with heart, that's Sensei. Hey. You got a team working day and night. Questions flying left.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this week's Sensay Community Call. I am Dan Thompson, the Sensay CEO and founder, and we're here today with some new updates from the website, from the app, from everything we've been doing, as well as a couple of special guests, and to give us the latest information on what's been going on and what's coming up at Sensay. So, for those who are new, Sensay is a platform that creates hyper-personalized chatbots for your businesses, for you as individuals, as a way of creating and capturing a lot of knowledge and know-how, and then putting it into these chatbots that enable you to personalize experiences for customers, for clients, for interactions, or as using as a second brain for yourself as a personal or professional tool. So it's really, intuitive and great to create these, and makes it super easy to upload all of your knowledge through documents, through personalization, and actually creating the personality, the behavior, or the tone of voice, all these aspects that you don't find in other chatbots. For entrepreneurs and any other builders and hackers out there, we also have our API, which means you can actually build on top of our platform. So if you don't want to build a sort of a chatbot platform from scratch, you can actually use our API to take everything we've done and use it for your own purpose, whether that's for healthcare, education, networking, job hunting, or pretty much any other industry you can think of. We've got a list of 50 different verticals that we think would be great applications for this technology. And so even if you're a bit lost as looking for something to build, just reach out to us and we can help you by giving you the different ideas and verticals that we think are massive business opportunities for this technology. As always, it's part sort of presentation and part Q&A. So if you do have any questions, if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitter, feel free to drop those questions into the comments. We will see them and we will be able to pull them up throughout or at the end of the call today. So thank you for joining us. We're going to jump straight in, but I'm going to bring up before we jump into that, we actually have something really exciting to show off. So this actually came from an announcement in the last couple of days, which you may have seen. If you check out our Twitter or any of the announcement channels, you'll see that we've actually had a huge facelift to the Sensay website. And this is actually, really, really great when it comes to improving everything we've learned over the last couple of years. So there you go. So this is the new website. It's got a new style, new slight sort of brand update. It's been made to be a lot clearer as to how we do it. We've got a demonstration of our chatbots directly, as well as showcasing everything we do from the creation of the chatbots for team members or from leaders like CEO or sales manager, and actually it does enable you to showcase all the way through from creating your chatbot super quickly and easily using our new wizard, and then all the way through to the training on the studio, the customization, and then also being able to connect it directly through to your website as a chatbot like we have here, or onto Telegram and Discord as community management and customer service tools. We've got some different integrations coming up very soon, so very excited to share those in the near future. And essentially what it does is it creates these powerful chatbots that can help your sales, boosting your customer support, to create these hyper-personalized, realistic, lifelike conversations with your customers and clients and just visitors to your website. So yeah, it takes no time at all to actually create it. You can create these in a few minutes, as well as deploy it with no code to the site. We've got some great case examples. So anyway, it's a really good opportunity to go and check out the new website, take a look for yourself, have a look all the way through. All the different pages have been updated as well, so you can find out all about us. You can check out the about page, the blog, and over the next few days, you'll also see some updates to the pricing structure coming in as well, which will enable you to get a really clear idea about what you can actually do with these chatbots. When it comes to creating a new chatbot with Sensay, we've updated the whole flow so that when you go to create a new chatbot, it can be done in 3 simple steps. Apparently I need to upgrade, or I've filled out the amount of chatbots I can create on my account already. So there are limits, obviously, but you'd have to go and create those through. We'll share a demo of that in the next week or so. But basically, when you are going through and when you can actually go and train, you have the ability to update everything from the personality and the different purpose behind it, the reasons for it. You add voice to it, and then in terms of the training, in our knowledge base V2, you can drag and drop pretty much anything into it, and it will enable you to have the files there ready to go and check and update and see how they go. And then when it comes to deployment, as I said, you can customize your chatbot to fit your company style and brand, and it will have a demonstration of how this works. Again, I need to upgrade apparently, and you'll be able to interact with it, to test it out and see how it works based on the training you have. So that's the amazing update we've got from the site. The team have done a really, really great job in terms of actually presenting how they, actually getting things done and moving this along. So it's been a couple of weeks for them to update the entire website and studio and replicate and chatbot creation flow to make it super easy. You can create a chatbot in just a few minutes, deploy it to a website with no code, and basically, boost your sales and customer support team, achieve massive ROI in no time. With that said, we're going to bring up our guest for today. We've got Lars and our head of security, Ben. There we go. So Lars, I'm going to kick off with a little brief introduction. Then we'll jump on with Ben.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Lars. I'm head of the community for Sensay, and I'm enjoying my crazy work every day, both online and chats and everything, seeing you all. And because of all the craziness, we also have a lot of things coming in. That's why we have Ben here with us today.
Hey guys, my name is Ben Perry. I'm the head of security in Sensay. Been with the company for almost a year. Addressing any concerns, any bugs, any security findings that we might have in order to keep your information private and secure.
Has it been almost a year already? Wow, time flies.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. But I mean, okay, so I guess we're going to start digging into a bit of this. But so when you say head of security for Sensay, what does that kind of entail day to day? Like what when we talk about bugs, for anyone who's not necessarily akin to software development and anything else, what does that actually what does that mean?
So when we build a machine, there is intended consequences and there is unintended consequences. And bug is in many cases unintended consequence of the code of what we are building. And sometimes someone can forget a door unlocked. Someone might forget to close the window before they're leaving the house. There is good posture and good cadence for security on treating different elements in a way that doesn't expose them, like private keys, passwords, codes, tokens. There are ways to write the code and operate the software in a way that doesn't expose personal information, doesn't allow people to manipulate personal information, and doesn't allow people to hack the system. So what I'm doing and what I'm helping the team is with working with white hat hackers that are outside resource out of Sensay, and they are using our bounty program that is published in the website, where we reward them to find vulnerabilities, problems, missteps, mishaps, and maybe something that doesn't work the way it should, and it's not necessarily a security concern. We have a automated intake form for those type of reports, and we ask for the reporter to provide us what they do, how they did it, how kind of like they found the vulnerability, what does it mean, and then we take it, we analyze that, we understand the impact of that, the implication. We then set on a program to fix that and remediate the problem. And once we fix the issue, in many cases, we are rewarding the finder or the initial reporter of the issue. Sometimes we actually have people are really fast with that. If we release something that has a flaw, we usually hear about it within a day, where we have a few of the white hats already submitting us a report. And it's a lot of times there is competition on who find the first bugs and who can report them so they can be eligible for the bounty. But it's always good to use outside testers to go ahead and validate stuff that you're doing. We are still a relatively small startup, so the amount of QA and testing that we can do in addition to our unit testing is limited. It's good to get people with an outside perspective, different techniques, different opinions, different thought patterns, to go ahead and try to find weakness in your product so you can make it better and stronger.
And some of the, I mean, we've actually had obviously quite a lot of submissions to that, and we just shared the link there for the bug bounty program. What I guess what most people will be most interested in is like, what kind of financial rewards do we offer?
So there is rewards from as little as 100 up to 7,500 US dollar value of Sensay tokens. Depends on the bug that you're finding, what's the risk profile, what's the implication, and what's the likelihood of occurrence of that vulnerability to actually happen in the real world. All those metrics decide kind of like how value is the target that was discovered. And then we also compose that with the quality of the report that we are getting. Depends on the information the reporter is giving us, the more details, the less legwork we need to do to try to re-replicate what he found, validate what was found, the more we can reward in the bounty, because again, there is less overhead for us, so we can share that with the finder. Depends on the criticality of the topic and what we find. We also decide where to slot it in our sprints. Sprints is kind of like where and how we're building the software. So not everything is an immediate action. There are some things that are very low priority, because the chance of that to happen, it's like if you're going to see pigs flying tomorrow. It doesn't mean that you don't need to have the playbook to fix those things, but with security and product, you always have to kind of like weigh and measure when it's a feature release, when it's a fix for something that might never happen. So as we find those issues, the high priority ones get to execution really fast, but the ones that are very rare, unlikely, something that is really isolated, those can be slotted at a later time. So we're talking anywhere between usually 2 to 3 weeks all the way to 2 to 3 months if it's the lowest priority.
Yeah.
So we take the request, we process, we validate, we fix, we then render the bounty for the founder.
And do we usually see a spike in submissions after the after like an update, like we've just updated the website? So you're expecting to see quite a few submissions coming through this week?
That's usually the case. So when you do a code refresh and when you do like a major overhaul of what you're doing, and some people just see a website, but that website and that nice graphics have like so many layers under the hood to make that a reality. There is the front end, there is the CDN, there is the back end, there is the API, there is all those things that needs to sync together in a course to make it work. And it's enough that one instrument is not finely tuned and have a vulnerability to jeopardize the entire stack. So the more you change, the more possibility of mishaps to happen. So statistically, I would expect to see more. Yes.
Yeah. So for anyone who's watching or interested in earning a bit of money and getting involved in the Sensay community, check out the bug bounty page. And help us to find the bugs and earn anywhere from 100 up to 1,000 or 10,000 maximum prize.
7,500.
7,500. Okay. So we've got huge prizes out there available for anyone who can find the bugs for us and report them. And first ones to report them will get the prizes.
Quality reports, please. The better the reports, the more of your bounty you're going to receive.
Quality reports, better bounties. That's a good enough incentive, I think. And I guess, a few conferences lately, I've seen a lot of AI sort of auto testing platforms out there. How well do they compare against, I guess, the sort of human white hat hackers who are just degen enough to be looking at different code bases and just checking and trying to find bugs themselves? How do they compare?
I think red team vibe. So vibe, like there is vibe coding. So now there are easier ways to vibe red team, and red team is basically the team that attacks, and blue team is usually the team that defends. So when you do a red team exercise, this is a kind of like when you attack, the blue team is defense, a purple is when those two teams are kind of like working together to understand where is the weakness. So using AI tools to red teaming becomes much, much easier and becomes much more available, especially now that we have all those browsers with AI embedded in those browsers. It becomes much easier to manipulate and use the browser to go ahead and do those things for you. So kind of like as we see shift where a lot of a new MVP POC code is moved to be vibe code, and then once you see value and you want to make it a real product, then you're probably going to move it to more humans involved with AI assisting but not leading. I think the same thing is going to happen with the cybersecurity market, with pen testing. Pen testing is very expensive to run. Companies charges hundreds of thousands just to run one exercise. Big corporates, for example, every time they release an app, you have to run a pen test situation. Small companies usually cannot afford that, so they don't do that. They do public goods like what we are doing.
Yeah.
So commoditizing that type of a service as an AI agent, I know it's something that a few companies are working on. There are a few things already out there. It is very, very early in the journey, but probably like AI is like dog years. 1 year is like 7 years. So probably by next year, it's already going to be like a full sustainable product that people will use.
But I guess there is always that balance, isn't there? There's the traditional like black hats, they're the ones who are attacking using AI, the ones who are defending using AI. So everyone's going to be using AI. The whole thing's going to, I guess, keep going up the quality, and everything should get higher and better and faster. But again, like you said, with this new move to like vibe coding, there's so many people who can now create websites and apps without really the understanding or the security know-how behind it, that don't really
Yes.
know what to look out for that will probably cause bigger problems because they think, oh, I vibe coded this, it works, so therefore I can launch it and it will be fine.
It's a really interesting point that you just mentioned, because I just came back from a conference in Las Vegas, AI4, really good conference if everybody want to go. And there was a big session about security and vibe coding, and how vibe coding is creating a new vulnerability in businesses, because people who don't understand security, who don't sometimes knows how to code or best practices for secure coding, are now vibe coding, and then they're launching the product, and nobody really knows if it's secured or not because nobody touched that. It's becoming a growing problem. But you also see some solutions. You see agents like Claude introduced a security review. So you can use Claude Code to do a security review for you these days. It is not perfect. It's going to miss a lot of things. But again, it's starting to get there. So with any security, it's a war machine to a degree. There is always the play of like, okay, I'm going to make a new weapon, I'm going to make a defense, I'm going to make a new weapon, I'm going to make a defense. It's the same thing here. So as you see more vulnerability comes from the vibe codings, you're going to see more products coming to kind of like, oh, we're going to plug that hole for you, just pay us a little bit, and we're going to inspect all the code for you and vibe secure it.
Do you
and
think
if you want to take it to the next level, then bring the human in the loop.
Yeah. Do you think that the reason that the vibe coding solutions aren't as secure is something to do with the training data of the LLMs? Because security is a small subsection of software engineering. Maybe it's not as sexy as some of the other areas, and maybe so there's not as much information that the LLMs might have been trained on. So when they are vibe coding out solutions, they just focus on the sexy, flashy, solution and product, and the security is either an outdated version of security because it's trained on older data and information, or because it's just an kind of not an afterthought, but like there's just less information that would have been trained on.
I have a weird opinion about that. I hope I'm not going to trigger anyone. I actually posted about that a week ago. I think all those vibe coding are drug dealers, man. They like use more credits. Just build a little bit more. Just build a little bit more. And I really think that there is some mechanism not to give you the perfect thing from the beginning. I use those tools a lot. And there is something over there that keeps bringing you back for another prompt. There is always another prompt. There is always another thing to fix. There is always another security hole that you need to patch. It's creating a continuous model of usage, so you will ever continue to develop. Why would they give you the perfect product and a secure product on the first prompt? How would you come and buy an upgrade to the next tier and more credits? They want you to come for more, and they're not going to make it perfect in the first run, the second run, and the 10th run. And you're going to go 2 steps forward, 1 step backward every time.
It's interesting. You're essentially saying that they potentially have the capability to build it perfectly from day one, but the reality is they actually almost dumb it down to make sure that you have to go back and use more credits to keep building it.
I believe so. At the end of the day, those services are like an offshore contractor that gets paid by the hour. They want to stack invoice as much as they can. They don't have stake in your business. They don't care about your business. They want billing, as much billing as they can. And that's exactly what all those vibe coding platforms are doing.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting approach, and something that I can see, the corporate American model really going for. I don't know if we're that far along yet. I think it's because obviously all these vibe coding platforms have come out really in the last year, maybe year and a half, and I think maybe they're just trying to vibe it for market share before they get to the stage where they do that. But it's entirely possible. I mean, I can completely imagine that is.
It's not like in a malicious way that they're doing that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not in the best interest to fix it and give you everything secure out of the gate. So it's easy for them not to fix that and not to make it better, because that's where they're going to make more money. So I don't need to develop a better security practice, and I'm going to make more money out of that. And then I'm going to have another company selling a product using my same AI agents to fix those security holes. So now I'm making money from both sides.
Yeah, they're developing the security agents as well. And obviously, you follow all the AI stuff quite closely. And how do you see the progress like stagnating? Do you see it still accelerating, or do you think it's stagnating a bit? GPT-5 has not been as impressive as some people were expecting. I think everyone is expecting full-on agentic function by now, given the rate of improvement. Like, what's your
Yeah.
kind of like view of the wider AI space?
Again, unpopular opinion, but working with OpenAI agent, it's kind of like
Operator.
working with, huh?
Operator. Is that right?
No, they switch it to agent now. They don't have operator anymore. They call it agent,
Okay.
agent mode. But it's like working with someone that have like an autism or Down syndrome or something like that. The things I get from that, I'm like, what's going on? It's like worse than 3.0 back in the days. I really, really don't like that one. Now for five thinking is okay. The 5 Lite I do not like. I do enjoy the 5 Pro quite often. I use it a lot. But you have to have the professional subscription, or you're gonna pay them an arm and a leg for API calls. The downside for that model is so slow that sometimes I'm finding myself doing this with my thumbs, waiting for it to get back to me. I don't think that we staggered. I think the capabilities and what can be done is only growing exponentially. I started like a new hobby thing to make jerky. I am not coming from the meat industry. I was able to start a company in less than 100 days only with the use of AI. And AI was used everywhere to make that a reality. Sensay agents, Claude Code to make the website, Gemini to do market research, you name it. Dozens of tools to automate and make that happen. Today, entrepreneurs or people who want to build, who have the passion of creation, they have the world in their hand. Our mobile device and our laptop have access to all those things that can do things for you, that even when you don't know anything about that territory, you can use those libraries, you can use those agents, you can use those tools and touch places that you would never been able to reach before because you were clueless about that. But now you have all those army of assistants that can take you there. That wasn't there a year ago. It's amazing in my opinion.
So do you think it's more of a, like when people say it's stagnated, do you think it's more of a user perception? Like most people just don't know how to use that extra higher level, and they just basically just interact with voice, whereas voice on ChatGPT-4 has been more than good enough for most people to learn things, to interact with, to answer their basic questions using it like a Google search, right? Whereas it can do all this other stuff. And combined with all the different AI tools out there now, they can do so much more, but people just don't have the creativity, the awareness, the understanding, the just the intuition to actually go and try out these different aspects of it, because it's just, I guess it's just an overload of like new features and things that you just can't even keep track of.
It's like going to the grocery store and it's like, oh, we have all those ingredients. Let's buy some things and start cooking. You have all those things on the shelves. You have all those products. You can do everything. But most people will just do an omelette or will just eat something from the package, and they will not cook because it's overwhelming for them. There is all those options, all those recipes. They don't know, they don't want to know. So sometimes they will just go to the microwave meals and will just eat that. I like cooking. I see all those cool ingredients on the shelves, all those great products, all those nice tomatoes, and I'm like, man, what can we make out of that? What new recipes can I create?
So as the AI gets better, is the onus on the individual and user to like learn how to use it better, or do you think it's on the companies developing it to make it more intuitive and kind of like read into what people actually want or would want?
Both, but another thing to that. So there is the how you use that, which a lot of people don't really understand. It's where you use it and kind of like how good it is with you that also needs to improve. But people have a mental mental block here. It's almost kind of like a philosophy. A lot of people still see this as cheating, as oh, the AI is gonna do the work for me. I don't feel that way when I put my clothes in the washing machine or my dishes in the dryer. It's a robot. It does things for you. It's not cheating. It's streamlining your work. But at least where I am in corporate America, if I'm gonna go to places and I'm gonna pitch something that I said I did it, or I did it with the AI, people will still look funny at that if I'm gonna say that was created with the AI, even though it might have saved 90% of the time and have a better artifact at the end. There is still a lot of bias around that I think we need more time to get that eroded.
Yeah, completely. No, it's been fascinating. Even since the last time you were on here, like, you know, it's things move along so much and so fast. Right, we've got some questions coming up. Has your database ever hanged?
Yeah, that happens. That's why we have SRE plan. That's why we have SRO for the services. We are using multi-region, multi-area. There is redundancy. So we are good there.
I was going to ask, actually, what was the biggest bug, I think, that got submitted or that we found? I know there's been probably quite a lot in the last year, but like, was there any?
So the biggest one was we allowed. Do you want me to open that here?
I mean, if we fixed it, then yeah, it's fine.
We did. So there was a mishap where we allowed to delete the user. So we have the knowledge base, right? And we have all the information that we use to train. And we allowed, like, my account could have deleted the training knowledge for your account. So that was one of the bigger ones that we had. And that guy received the biggest bounty to date.
Deservedly.
Because that can actually cause damage. Like, maybe I don't have a backup for that information as a person. We have backup for that data, but that will require us to recover and some other things, and that should not have happened.
Yeah, for sure. So I think we've got a couple of other quick questions, mostly for you.
Oh, the shirt. There is a merch store for Sensay. You can do that. I'm not a big guy anymore, and that's like a 4X. Make sure you buy a big size. That was very, very small.
I do not use AI when coding. I write my own code. What is your advice? Use AI or learn to use AI, enhance yourself. I think that's the case for. It's not even just coding and development. It's pretty much every industry, every job now. That you know, if you're not leveraging AI to enhance your productivity across the board, then you know you just have to learn. I mean, you learn via the AI. You can learn through YouTube or school. But anyone who's not leveraging AI for their own work, for their productivity, for their personal life, you know, you just end up falling behind. So it's admirable that people want to still do things manually and by themselves, but you know.
But is it? When you have an excavator where you can use to dig holes and you choose to take a shovel and do it by hand, are you making a smart choice by doing that?
Like if it's for a reason, like you have like pride, you want to do something, you want to build things with your own hands, you want to like do things from scratch and learn it inside out. There is something to that in a way. It won't be better necessarily. It may, I mean, at an outside chance, you could be exceptionally incredible, but for the most part, you're right. Using the excavator rather than the shovel is definitely the better way of doing it. Even though you know you might prefer the idea of doing it all by yourself, by your own hands. But fundamentally, that's not how we've advanced as a civilization. So why would you limit yourself?
That's what I believe. And today, it's not about what AI gives you as a value or what you give as a value. It's what you with an AI produce together. And like Ben Perry productivity is X, but Ben with AI is 100X because I learned and I opened myself on how to use it. Another person might be 10X, another person might be 500X. But by yourself, you're only going to be like the 1X. Use AI as a power multiplier. Use Sensay bots, use other tools, use coding, use vibe coding. And every tool will fit a different use case. It's like you don't use the same screwdriver for everything. You have a set, or you have an interchangeable heads. Those are your different agents.
Yeah.
Use the proper tools. Don't shy from them. Don't fear them. Embrace them. The ones who are not going to embrace those tools, they're the ones who are going to stay behind, and they're the ones who will not have a job in 5 years.
Yeah, completely agree. I guess this is everyone. Hi, Sense team. I recently had an interview with one of your talent acquisition team members who kindly reached out to me and even mentioned arranging a discussion with CTO. Since then, I've sent a couple of follow-up emails, but haven't received any reply. Completely understand how busy things can get, but just wanted to kindly check if there are any updates regarding the next steps. So for anyone who is interested, we have our careers page, sensay.io/careers. Where you can apply. You can also find any available jobs on our LinkedIn posts. If you do apply, you'll probably interact with a couple of different levels. So we have our AI agent on our HR side, which is built by our HR manager. And this basically will do early stage interviews and replies to initial applications. That will also then filter down the applicants to find the ones that go through to the HR manager before going on to team managers and senior team. Unfortunately, we do end up actually getting tens of thousands of applicants for jobs every single month, and so it is quite a tough job to sift through them all, reply to them all. So, unfortunately, if there hasn't been a reply, it probably means that there wasn't a position available. We're sorry. We are trying to be better at making sure we reply to everyone because, we really want to build the team and make sure we are more responsive. But it just due to the sheer volume, unfortunately, we can't always get back to everyone for every position. But yeah, I think it was Rasim. Thank you for asking the question anyway. Ben, I think that's great. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for the continued work.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. And I guess we're going to bring up Lars again. Here he is. Oh, I think you're muted, Lars, or we can't hear you.
I'm muted. I actually muted myself before to make sure that I didn't make any noise.
Just background noise, just Lars just chatting away. So yeah, what's been going on? What's new in the community? What are some of the biggest questions we've had?
Well, it's always about the market. Like most of it is marketing. Then we have when more marketing. Like we always do marketing. We always doing social pushes and everything. So that's always coming up. And then of course we have the big news. I promised the next community call who's going to be a new moderator, right? It was a little bit earlier because we changed around the schedules, but from the 1st of September, we will have a new moderator. Will actually be one of our old OGs. Alfred will be stepping in as moderator role from the 1st of September. So please, anyone that wants to spam him now, please do. If any questions come up according to, we had the long quest segment that has been going on. We have set into that because he's been working on the quest segment the whole summer, he will still be allowed for this quest segment, but after that, he won't be in any more quest segments. And he still has to follow all rules, and everybody already does. And on more news, we are having a test coming up next week. What we're calling this, a test. So we had such a good engagement and everything from the Mod Wars that we actually made a new event out of it. So we're going to test out a one-time Sensay Wars. Same aspect and build up as the Moderator Wars. There will be more applications in a way that we'll only have 4 participants a week, 1 each night, 2 hour. You can have up to 2 hours. You temporarily get a title inside the chat so you can use the bots and everything, and we will add bots according to your needs for your segment. We will also remove them after. But it's like a competition where you can win a prize. Now, if this goes well, we will see what we can do more forward on it, because it is a test one for 1 week. So on Friday, the post will go out, the blog post will go out, rules and regulations and everything on it. And applications is on until Sunday on it. I'm really looking forward for that one.
Awesome. It's really cool stuff coming up. Yeah, we've got I mean, that's great, Sensay Wars. And then we've got the Sensay Showcase coming up at the end of September. So this is going to be our big next showcase, highlighting all the latest products and features we've got coming out, as well as updating the roadmap for the next few months. We've also got our big hackathon happening right now. So for anyone who's interested, can participate to win up to $10,000 in prizes by going to Dora Hacks and finding the Sensay Hackathon and creating a product built on top of the Sensay API around, I believe, it's networking and memberships, as well as sales chatbots for e-commerce. So there's a few different categories in that one, and we're super excited to see what people come up with in the next few weeks. All right, I think if we've got time for a few questions, if we have some additional questions coming through.
Well, the thing is, we can never say Sensay is boring. We have so many things going on constantly, huh?
So many things all the time.
Yeah. So, with AI chatbots rapidly evolving beyond simple Q&A, how does Sensay envision their role in shaping personalized and human-like digital interactions over the next few years? I wonder if there are plans to build their own LLM or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So just give me 1 second. I'm just going to find a particular diagram that I like to show for this. Essentially, we definitely will be building our own LLM. We can leverage existing models to have as a baseline, because I think they're just going to put so much effort into them, and some of them will be open source, and so we'll leverage those to make sure that we actually have the best ones available to us at the right time. But we won't be building our own LLM. I think that's just too much investment, too much time, and there's just too many people already in that space. What we are focusing on, though, is what we call our AI wisdom engine. So that's this section here, which is the idea around how we actually process the information that comes in from the creator. So processing the information like your apps and your different calendars and notes, to web scrapes, social media, messaging platforms, files and media, videos, voice, everything else, all the way through to Q&A and interviews, and then with your style, voice, and video. You can then add, they basically should have some situational and user awareness. Obviously, the LLM aspect is one small part of this, part of the tech stack. You've then got the MTP integrations, encryption, security, and infrastructure, as we've been talking about with Benefit. Then we've on top of this, we have our hallucination checker to avoid it sort of making up different facts that aren't real. On top of that, we have aspects like theory of mind, the personality, wisdom, experience, and also knowledge retrieval. So you're pulling out the relevant information at the right time. And one big one is also the intent and purpose behind it. So what is it there for? That then interacts with different users as a replica, as a chatbot via website widgets, chatbots, voice calls, video calls, and even agentic functions. So you can look at calendar management, asset management, social posting, and all of that feeds back into the original training as well. So this is more to do with what we focus on. We focus on building out this AI wisdom engine to be the most sort of lifelike, human-like interaction possible with as much information there as it can. So instead of focusing on building out an LLM, which other people are doing, it's a very small part of what we are building, and so it's something that we leverage the existing market out there for, rather than trying to build it out ourselves. So thanks for that one.
It's always with the wisdom engine and everything that's been built is amazing. So Alfred comes in here, which he's the new mod we are getting in from the 1st of September. With the AI engine now running on OpenRouter, what does unlock for Sensay community and holders in the next few months?
Yeah, so OpenRouter's it's more of a swap between directly pulling from the different APIs from OpenAI or Anthropic or Grok, as OpenRouter basically does that all in one platform. So what it means is that instead, if we were pulling from, let's say, the Claude and Anthropic API, if they decided to have some downtime, which a lot of the LLMs are having lately, then it wouldn't break our system. OpenRouter enables it to automatically detect downtime and then swap to a different LLM of our choosing. So it basically means that there's no downtime for Sensay users, which is a good thing for the platform, because it won't interrupt business or cause any issues that are directly related to the underlying LLMs. So that's why OpenRouter is a good choice for us, and quite useful for checking when there's an issue. I think there was an earlier question about how to get the Sensay top. I think that's quite
The merch, or
somewhere in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. So there was a question for Ben earlier, but
Yeah.
how can we get the Sensay top? So obviously I've got the blue one on. Lars is surprisingly unsensayed up today, despite having all the Sensay swag all around. Yeah. Oh no, you're showing a bottle that we don't sell. We don't have that one on the store. But anyone can go to the Sensay shop and you can get everything from nice thermos flasks, caps, t-shirts, jackets, anything else, and that's available at shop.sensay.io. So if you want to get your hands on those, there's two main ways you can do that: participating in the community challenges via the quest, or going directly to the store and purchasing and shipping. Shipping is mostly available in Europe, but we do have a few other locations we can ship to as well. So if you want some swag, definitely get involved. Wear Sensay, post it, and we'll be boosting up some points in the Quest platform as well. Do we have any other questions?
So does this also mean Sensay plans to integrate new capabilities like fine-tuned models, multi-models features, or expanded API access to developers?
Yes,
In the future.
fundamentally, fine-tune models. So we had one before. We have one that is our own fine-tune model. The problem is the speed at which these LLMs update it kind of means that we can just leverage those. So trying to keep our own model updated as well is not necessarily the best use of our developers' time. Multi-model features, yes. Voice, video, image processing, both input and output, are part of what we're doing and building. And then the expanded API. So the API team are constantly working to improve that. So right now you can take the API, you can create chatbots, you can deploy chatbots, and you can have access to the studio and train chatbots directly there, which means that, say you have a use case for influencer marketing, you can create an influencer marketing platform, create the AI versions of the influencers, have them train it on your platform, and actually have it deployed directly on your platform as well, all via the API. I think one of the things that's still required is monetization, but there's definitely options that we can work with different builders on that for sure. So thank you for the question.
Yeah. And if anyone missed, it seems like somebody did miss. Alfred is going to be a new moderator. He's the winner of the Mod Wars, just to make sure that everybody heard it. So we are looking forward to having him join. So do we have some more questions coming in?
I think we're pretty much at the end of them right now. So yeah, guys, I think that we're going to... Oh, there we go.
What do you think sets Sensay apart from other projects?
I mean, I'm biased, so I'll let you take that one.
I'm very biased as well. So for me, what sets it apart is not just the community AI bots, AI widgets, and AI agents that we are making, but it's also the company works together, listens to everyone. Even me as a community manager, I'm sitting with vibe coding as well, sending over ideas to some of our team, where everybody has an open forum. I never tried that in a company before, because the internal open forum, everybody's listening to everyone, is much greater no matter your position. So you feel you are part of the building, even though you don't know how to code, but you can bring in ideas.
Yeah, I know we've got an incredible team. We're fast at shipping, building great, really good quality, secure as well. It's like despite the occasional bug here and there, and yeah, what we're building is really fantastic. And I think the differentiator for us compared to other companies in terms of the product is this hyper personalization. So this idea of this wisdom engine, this ability to create these hyper personalized chatbots in a way that do represent people, key people's personalities, or even as an abstract concept of like a brand voice. And that's something that separates it from the average chatbot experience. I think everyone's just tired of interacting with boring chatbots, and they're immediately just asking to speak to a human, whereas our ones feel like you're talking to a human from the get-go. So it does make a big difference. But with that, I think we're at time. So I want to say thank you very much for everyone who's watching live and asking questions, and also anyone who is watching on the recordings. I think that it's, what we do couldn't do without the supporter community. And we've got some great plans for the next few months. We're super excited about the showcase coming up. We've got a few product launches coming later in the year. And just it's a really great time to be around and be involved in the project. Thank you all for joining. To find out more information, you can find us on pretty much any social channel. The handle for Sensay is @AskSensay, and you can also find and message myself @SensayDan on pretty much any platform you can think of. I'm there somehow. Keep myself nice and busy. And I promise I will try and reply to them, not let my AI do it for me as much, despite the fact that Dan Bot is in full control of everything. But as always, thank you very much. Please feel free to jump in any of our communication channels, Twitter, Telegram, Discord, and ask any additional questions you want, and we'll get back to you. But otherwise, we'll see you next week. So thanks for joining us.
What if your website didn't just look the part, but spoke the part too? Meet the Sensay AI chatbot, powered by AI agents to deliver a fine-tuned, human-like experience to all of your customers. Trained on your company's data and tone, so every visitor gets a personal welcome from the people behind the company. Your best salesperson, on call 24/7. Your founder, greeting visitors at scale. Your brand, coming to life one conversation at a time. Forget "how can I help you" and robotic replies. This is AI with personality, memory, charm. It is a conversation.
Sensay AI chatbots, built to sound like your best self, ready to talk to the world.